Hello YouTubies, I'm Grant, this is the garage, this is Granty's garage, and in this video we're going to put an A-pillar gauge in the Temu Max Power budget Ford Focus build. Now, if you don't know what Max Power is, maybe you weren't old enough to have experienced or seen it, it was a style of car in the UK, early 2000s, that was all about being different, loud, crazy with your build. It wasn't necessarily about going fast, it was about having the coolest looking head turning car and just cruising around with your mates and going to shows. We've been building this Focus from stock over the last year into the cheapest Max Power build. How cheap can you do it? That's the experiment. But for people not familiar with it, if you imagine the sort of visual upgrades you would do in some of the earlier Need for Speed games and things from the early Fast and Furiouses, that's kind of what we're going for. So at that time, an A-pillar gauge was all the rage. If it worked, even better. No promises for what's going to happen during this video. As we're trying to work out how cheap can we do this, I will put on the screen some examples of what one of these will cost you these days. Not very much, but in keeping with the build, we're going to try and do it for as little as possible to nothing, where we are going to make this gauge ourselves. The pod, not the gauge. Then we'll put a gauge in it that I've paid nothing for. All will be explained. For now, I'm going to dive in the car. I'm going to pull out the A-pillar and then show you what we've got to work with. This project took a lot longer than planned. It was a couple of weeks of evenings, almost every evening. You'll see why very shortly. This video also contains bad ideas, worse backup ideas, reversions back to bad ideas, and so on. I'll very soon get on to what we're playing with, what the plan is and what we're using, and then run you through how I get on with it, if we get on with it, see how well it goes. Just a couple of themes for this build. Firstly, it's how cheaply could you do a Max Power car? Part of this experiment is, should you do it that cheaply? Arguably no. Can we do this as somebody who's non-qualified in any of these areas? So are we, brave enough to have a go with certain things? Are we able to learn new tricks, tips, skills? I dare say, might be a stretch on skills if you saw the wrapping video. And can we make stuff ourselves? So yes, you could buy one of these pretty cheap. You could buy one a bit more expensive, probably be tailored to your car. But I'm one of the sort of people who finds a great satisfaction in being able to make something myself. Not necessarily because of the money saving. I just think it's the people I was brought up around, particularly my granddad. Why would you buy a piece of furniture when you can make a custom piece? So, what are we going to be using? I bought this some point last year off Temu, really cheap, couple of quid, because I was going to put gauges on the dashboard. Turns out this was far too big to go anywhere and it would have looked ridiculous. The only place it could even theoretically fit would have been sat over where the airbag comes out. And I do, where possible, want to avoid compromising function. So it's a triple. I don't have three, and that definitely won't fit on the A-pillar. This is the A-pillar. What I'm intending to do is use the pieces of this, cutting it somewhere here and here to kind of merge it into one, and then we'll work out mounting that to the pillar. That's the plan. Now, this is silly. I could buy one so cheaply, but part of the fun of this is making stuff. When we did the phase 2 on the rear bumper, I made my own supports for the diffuser part. And I was quite proud of them. Saved myself 3 quid, fantastic. But I had scraps lying about that we built them out. I'll link that video up there somewhere. We also have previously wrapped some of this interior trim because while the door cards and stuff got done quite early, the upper half of the interior had been neglected. It was still grey and black, and we'll be doing something about the headliner very soon. So this purple colour runs all the way from the inside, and we used what was left of some wrap that didn't match quite the outside. So I'll intend to use what's left of that to maybe colour whatever we do with this. This may have other bits added into it, but we're going to go and try and have the best go we can. At the end of this video, I'll either be showing you working gauge in the pod, or I'll be showing you the delivery expected date of Temu for it. Now, what are we going to use for the gauge? Mentioned him earlier, but my granddad had a number of bits in his garage that I inherited once he passed. And some of the bits are just, they're beautiful in just, they are what they are. They're old pieces of old cars. I've got a fuel cap from a Morris Minor. It's gorgeous, it's an awesome thing. It will never get used for anything and it's never going anywhere. And this temperature gauge, it's made by Smiths, was in there. It's, I imagine, pretty analog. I don't think there's any digital elements to it. There's two connectors that I imagine are a signal here. There's a hole here for what I imagine would be if you want to put a light bulb holder in there. And then I've got two long screws, which I presume are going to be for mounting. I'm going to do my best in this video to put this in, make use of it, which my granddad would have been very proud of. And it's definitely the person I get that keeps stuff in case you might need it from. And if you've watched any of the previous videos, you'll know that bits all the time, I need something that looks like this or can do this. It's like, well, actually, I've got a piece of metal like that. And I'm going to do my very best to actually get it working. I've never done a gauge before, and there'll be a learning curve for me there. I've got some experience manipulating plastic. This isn't, despite what it looks like, carbon fibre of any kind. It's got some, maybe it's like hydro dipped or something, which is peculiar because when I ordered it, I ordered the black one. So we'll see if we can make a usable shape out of that. I've pulled the pillar out for reference because it's actually just easier to have it on the bench and work out how it's all going to sit and stuff like that. And I can go and offer it up to the car, check how happy where it's sat, and then commit. And then we'll work out the thing. But first, pull out first. We're going to cut this. I'm going to do it in a fashion where I'm going to cut a lot less away than I need to. And then I'll start kind of merging it. My idea is this hole is actually the perfect size. I assume this is a semi-universal size. I want to keep the hole, but I want to effectively have this come all the way around and finish down here, for which I'm going to use that edge. Between these three, there should be one in the middle that's just a good shape. It's smooth, it's round, it's going to be difficult, but I think we'll be able to get a good enough result, or at least the bit from the bit we need to. So we'll start by cutting this up. So, little show you of where we're at. You can see the pieces that we've made, how I've trimmed them down. I should not be doing this with my arms around the camera stand. This is really hard to do whilst also looking through the screen. Hold on. This is a rough idea of what it will look like. Obviously, we need to make up a piece on the inside there, and then it will carry the whole shape and becomes like a single unit, which is a lot easier to do when I'm not holding it up and doing it on the bench. So, a couple of things we need to do. First of all, we need to stick it together, which I'll work on now, and we'll plastic weld that, and you'll see that process. Then we'll work out what gap piece we'll make to go in there, and then we'll worry about making the top of it smooth before, hopefully, wrapping it. So let's stick them together. Here's where we're at. So we've got it into the one piece, relatively happy with the shape. I think I did it off camera because I didn't record it, but I just made a piece of plastic to go in there. We still have the gap, but we're going to use filler for that. And we're going to put some filler just in this crevice that's between the two, and then we'll sand it to make it smooth. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to file it, because it's going to be easier than sanding the plastic, just to get this bit flat and smooth. And then I'll put filler inside, and then I'll be sanding that once it's cured, and filler in there, and then just getting in the sandpaper, just taking care of all these edges, because ideally, once we've wrapped it, they're not going to show. That's the idea. But need to sit here and finesse it, ultimately. So that's what we're going to do now. Been hard at work the last couple of days making this, as you would have seen the process for. This is how it's come out. So considering this used to be 2 pieces, relatively happy with it. I think it will wrap quite well, maybe have some more paint. There's a reason I'm not touching it properly. That's because the paint hasn't properly cured. Why did I paint it? If anyone's wondering, it's so the wrap will adhere to it, because it won't adhere to like a matte surface very well. And it struck me, this is still pretty huge. And then bringing it up to the pillar, I don't know how I've allowed this to happen. It is not going to fit. So, what are we going to do? I'm still quite set on this idea of making this myself. So I'm going to revert to what seems to have become a Granty's Garage staple, particularly with this Max Power Focus build. And I'm going to try with this. The saving grace for me is that the profiling of this obviously runs through other bits of the car, the diffuser, the side skirts, the rear bumper. If you've not watched any of those videos, maybe I'll link them below, or there'll be one up here. So I'm now going to try and fashion one that is actually going to fit this A-pillar, and honestly can't believe I went this far and got this carried away without first checking it was going to work. So let me see what I can do with this. And if you're watching this video, then I actually obviously was able to do something and bothered making the rest of the video. It's been a long couple of weeks. Whilst I'm waiting for paint to dry, which is always fun, I'm not really actually waiting for it to dry, I'm waiting for it to cure before I wrap the other bit. I'm just playing around with how we're going to light the gauge. Part of that has meant taking it apart, so I've got just the back housing here. I was very careful taking it apart, paying attention to where the parts go, because you're supposed to put a bulb through here, have a holder, is what I gather, and that will light the gauge. But it was really struggling to have any impact with what I've got. And like we are on this channel, we're trying to reuse stuff that we have. So you can see I've got all these bits here. I've been doing little experiments, which I like to do when I'm doing lights. Is like, let's check what's working, just using a small battery. What I have done, I have got 2 of these little bulbs that are pink LEDs because I want to keep the same light color. Don't really want it to be white. I've just taken off the end cap part. I don't think that's going to focus. And I've just connected 2 together because the problem is with this is the right way up for the gauge. This is the top, and the bulb comes in here. So this bit will light, and the rest of it has no light. And it's everything I was trying, even getting the bulb right in, it was just never going to be visible. It's not going to be any fun. So what I'm doing is connected 2 of these bulbs. If I show you that this is what the actual gauge is. The idea is that they're going to sit in there and light each side. I'm going to connect a piece of wire to each end of this and then run it out through that hole and put it back together with them in there. Yes, if one blows, I'll need to take it apart to change it, but this for me means I'll be able to light both sides. So very shortly, once I've got those wires on there, I'll at least show you what it runs like off the battery and looks like off the battery with it running. Just got to make some bits so then I can put it back together and seal the light in. So that's what I've been doing. If you want to see kind of the idea, well, that's embarrassing. Worked a minute ago. There we go. And that will sit behind it. I definitely should have shown you what it was doing with one bulb, but if you see where the 130 is, it was basically only that bit lit. So this is what it looks like, and this is what it will ultimately look like when it's in the pillar. Quite happy with that, and it will do for now. Coming into the car, I want to give you a bit of an idea of what we've done in here. So we've made these wires up with spade connectors on the ends of them to connect to the gauge for the light. The one for power runs down the dash right the way through, and then I've joined it into one of the circuits we've made for the other lights that's into the fuse box. And the other one, hopefully, is going to get good enough ground from that bolt there. We'll feed those up through the pillar, put that in, and put the gauge in. I have realised using this particular gauge for its function won't be possible without the sender unit that it requires. And as I found out, this is from the 70s. Well, probably not going to get one of them to go into this for the sake of that. What I'll do is use this as a guide for now, and then replace it with probably an electronic one later. So I have also had to recharge the battery, so I haven't actually tested this works yet. So I'm going to test that the power is okay for that, line it all up, and then get it installed. There's it in. It is lit, but it's hard to show you that with the other lights on, which if I turn off, it's going to go off. But there we go. So, there you have what I thought would be a couple of days fiddling around with some pieces to do something I've always wanted to. In this case, not that we're ever testing this, it might have made more sense to just buy a more suitable item. Both a gauge and, well, eventually I will get a gauge, but the pillar itself, I'm not the happiest with it. It's cool that it's there. I like that it's there. I'm glad it's there over it not being so. But when I look at it, all be told, as it were, there are more suitable parts, or there was different ways I could have done it. It sits a bit too close to where actually the steering wheel is, which isn't something I'd considered when doing it. So I'm sure it'll get another iteration in the future. But Max Power cars are mostly about what they look like, and they've got to have all the bits. So if you enjoyed that and you want to follow along with the build, we're going more in depth on bits that we've already done. We're doing like what we consider phase 2 from last year, and we're going to be doing some more crazy stuff with it as we go that we're building up to. Subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up if it was even moderately entertaining, and you'll see us for the next one. Thanks so much.